through my look-through of the year's releases, right? The release schedule coming up for this year for a whole bunch of different movies, and I was kind of looking at the different superhero and comic book, Marvel and DC stuff, trying to figure out how much actual superhero content we're getting this year, because I remember last year, we didn't get much. We got a lot of the Sony Universe stuff, which wasn't very good, but not a lot of MCU, not a lot of DCU, and I wanted to know what was actually coming out this year, and believe it or not, there's quite a few projects coming out this year, and I thought, why not rank them all for all of you guys, based on my excitement levels for each project. I thought that would be a fun, gimmicky video for today, so here we are. This will just be Marvel and DC-based comic book and superhero things. There might be other things, like The Boys, if that happens to come out this year. Not counting that here. But this is TV shows, animated movies, whatever, all of that kind of joined into one sort of grouping. I have 12 here. I might be forgetting one. If I am, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes, so forgive me. Or don't, or like unsubscribe and dislike this video and call me a doofus or something meaner than doofus, like a poopy face. I don't know. Let's jump into it. Coming in last at number 12 is Eyes of Wakanda. This is a brand new animated show. I believe Ryan Coogler is somewhat involved in this, but it's going to be a prequel about Wakanda in animation. I genuinely don't care. And it's not that I don't care about Wakanda or Black Panther or anything like that. I just haven't been a fan of Marvel's animation stuff, as you'll see by the bottom of this list. I just don't think they've done an amazing job outside of a couple moments in What If. So I'm not convinced that this is going to be something that's really going to be my sort of thing. I'm not really that interested in the origins of Wakanda. I really just want to see more of modern Wakanda with those characters that we already love. But I don't know, maybe this will be something that catches my eye. Maybe it won't be. Following suit at number 11 is Marvel Zombies, a whole animated show about that one episode from What If that I didn't really like that much. This could be cool. I've heard it's going to be like hard R rated, like it's going to be brutal, graphic, you know, they're going to be dropping F-bombs and all that stuff. Maybe this could be something that's really different and innovative and goes out there, right? It could be like Invincible, but in the MCU when it comes to the violence. Or maybe it'll just be generic and boring, which is probably what it's going to be. And number 10 is Ironheart, the brand new show based on the character Riri Williams. Is that the actor's name or the character's name? Let me check. It's the character's name. Dominic Thorne is the name of the actress. She, of course, made her debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever and was kind of a fun character. If you didn't know, Ironheart in the comics is kind of like the successor to Iron Man. This version of the character doesn't really have a connection to Iron Man because she never met him, so she's just, I guess, stealing his name, I guess. This is low on the list for a couple different reasons, mainly because I'm just not interested in the character of Ironheart. I mean, how many people are? I'm sure there's somebody out there. But also because this show filmed like 3 years ago. It's been done for a long time, but Marvel and Disney has been sitting on it. And that only usually means one thing. It usually means that it's a little bit stinky. And you could smell the stink from this one from far away. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's masterful, maybe it's amazing, and they just wanted to wait. They wanted to make us wait for something beautiful and amazing. My guess, this will be another forgettable Marvel TV show, of which we have a lot. I think this is just going to be another one that comes out, people will complain about it for like 2 weeks, and then it'll disappear. Like Agatha. And number 9 is Thunderbolts, and yeah, I don't care. I don't care about the Thunderbolts. This is like Marvel's Suicide Squad, right? Their answer to the Suicide Squad. The only issue is the Suicide Squad is very, very fun, and both movies are unique and sort of captivating for audiences for a different reason, a reason that Marvel won't be able to replicate here. And I know people don't love those two Suicide Squad movies, but what those movies actually offer are, first off, characters that people really like, characters that are based kind of in the Batman world, like Deadshot and Harley Quinn. And there was that dark DC vibe to both films, and of course the second one with James Gunn involved. It just had a more sort of broader appeal to audiences, especially that second one, which was hard R-rated, brutal, full James Gunn craziness. Thunderbolts, though, from the trailers we've gotten, seems to be the Suicide Squad, but MCU'd. And MCU'd in the bad ways, meaning like goofy comedy, goofy color grading, mediocre writers involved, like the same people that wrote the Black Panther, like the same people that wrote the Black Widow movie that everybody disliked. I don't know, maybe this could be something. There are characters here that I like. I like Bucky. I can't wait to see Wyatt Russell's character again. I loved his character, Florence Pugh's here. Like, there are some things about this movie that could make it very, very interesting. Stephen Yeun was supposed to play the villain at one point. He dropped out. That sucks. That would have bumped this up like at least a couple spots because I love Stephen Yeun. I'm just not interested in this. This could be one that ends up shocking me, surprising me, and being a major hit of the year. I don't think so. I think it's going to be another bomb for Marvel. And maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. And number 8 is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the only animated show that's actually appearing a little bit higher on this list. I love Spider-Man. we don't get enough Spider-Man things anymore. Which is a crazy thing to say, because we get a new Spider-Man movie like every 2 years, we get video games. I take that back. We get a lot of Spider-Man content. But we haven't gotten an animated Spider-Man show in a while, and obviously these animated Spider-Man shows used to be a big thing. And this is one that I'm happy takes place in its own universe. It's not going to be held down and anchored down by the restraints of the MCU. So this could be a very large solo Spider-Man show. Now, granted, I haven't watched any of the trailers or anything from this, so I don't know how they've Marvel-fied, or a better word, Disney-fied the Spider-Man world in this animated show. And maybe they just completely cooked it. But just the idea of a Spider-Man animated show that's not held down by the laws or the rules of the MCU, and it can do whatever the hell it wants, that excites me. I love Spider-Man. I love new original Spider-Man stories. I'll be interested in this. Then we have Wonderman at number 7. This is another one that I'm vaguely intrigued by. Wonderman as a character is not something I'm very familiar with, but the way this show seems to be going in direction-wise is it's going to be a show about an actor who he pretends to be a superhero in an in-universe version of the MCU, right? So kind of like The Boys. There's a studio cinematic superhero universe that exists within the MCU, and this guy plays Wonderman, the big fictional superhero that will eventually become a real superhero, I guess. And I love the idea of possibly doing this meta critique of the MCU within the universe. Now, they've kind of already done it with the end of She-Hulk. Obviously, stuff like The Boys has done it very broadly, so maybe there's not as much content or as much stuff that the MCU can actually do in this show to make it feel original and not just goofy and gimmicky. But I'm intrigued to see how they actually handle this thing and what this thing actually will be. It's maybe the one thing that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is releasing this year where I'm like, that's something that could be really, really special. Maybe. It could also be really, really horrible. Yahya Abdul-Mateen is in this show playing the lead. He's great. I've loved him in every single thing that he's in. Ben Kingsley is back playing the fake Mandarin dude, who I love. He's very entertaining. Ed Harris is in the show. I don't know who he's playing, but I love Ed Harris. I'm here for it. This one I'm just really intrigued by. We'll see how it works out. It comes out at like the end of the year, so I probably won't talk about it for like 9 or 10 months. I'll see you then, everybody. If you're just here for Wonderman content, if you're only here for Wonderman content, you're some kind of sick fuck. God bless you, my God. And number 6, actually higher than expected, Captain America, the New World Order, or the First World Order, whatever the hell this thing's called. I don't even know the title, and I'm ranking it higher. Captain America 4, the Anthony Mackie Captain America movie that has been reshot a billion times, rewritten a billion times. My God, this movie's been a mess for Marvel. It's got like a $350 million budget. It's going to bomb at the box office. There are so many things going wrong for this thing. How is it not last on my list? How is it actually in the middle? It's just because I kind of dig the trailers. And listen, I think I'm just falling victim to Marvel and their ability to edit amazing trailers. They've been doing this for years. Disney in general, the Star Wars trailers. But my God, I really love the trailers for this thing. I love Anthony Mackie. I think he's so charismatic, and I think he's going to be great as the lead here. And him working off Harrison Ford, who's going to be kind of like the main villainish character. I think there's going to be a villain above him. It's going to be kind of like Civil War, where Zemo's working on the side from the shadows, manipulating all these pieces. Like, I think it's going to be some kind of arc like that. But I like the idea of him working with Harrison Ford, and the trailers are selling this dark espionage movie kind of in tone with The Winter Soldier. And you know what? I don't know if it's going to be any of those things. It might end up being a total slog of a film that's messy, that's got 15 different tones and themes because it's been reshot and rewritten a bunch of different times, so you've had way too many cooks putting their hands in the kitchen. You might have too many villains, like Giancarlo Esposito shows up here. There might be too many things trying to set up future MCU films. Like, this thing has the potential to be the biggest mess ever. But if by chance this movie somehow matches the vibe of those trailers, it's probably going to be something that I really dig. And I'm hoping it is, because I really would love for this movie to succeed. It's becoming clearer and clearer by the day. Every time a new, article comes out about this movie, it's probably going to be a disaster. I hope I'm wrong. And number 5 is Peacemaker Season 2. Granted, we don't know if we're definitely getting this year. It has finished filming, but you know how post-production works in these TV shows. It sometimes takes years. So we'll see, but I loved Peacemaker Season 1. I love James Gunn. There's another James Gunn thing we'll be talking about in a few seconds. I'm very interested to see, though, what they've cooked up with John Cena and all these characters. They have a cool new villain that's apparently going to be in this season. It's going to be fun. It's going to be goofy. It's going to be over-the-top R-rated. It's going to be connected to the new DCU, which will be fun. And I just think it's going to be an enjoyable season of television like the first one was. I don't think it's going to blow anybody away and be, the greatest thing on television, but I look forward to watching it. I really was surprised by the first season. I really enjoyed it. And I'm excited for this one. Coming in hilariously at number 4 is Fantastic Four, the first steps, the second, I don't know, the something steps, whatever the title is. because they had to give it a title, a subtitle for some reason. Back in my day, we used to call movies like this just simple things, like Fan Four Stick. This is another one similar to like Wonderman that I talked about earlier. I'm just intrigued by. I'm intrigued by the concept of a brand new Fantastic Four movie set in the MCU. Kind of. It's set in a multiverse that will connect to the MCU. So technically it's not, I guess. I don't know. Who knows anymore? The movie's got a really fun cast. Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn. You have Julia Garner playing the Silver Surfer. You have Galactus showing up. I still feel like we were robbed of getting that rumored Margot Robbie as Sue Storm and Adam Driver as Mr. Fantastic. I feel like we were robbed of that. I feel like we were robbed of John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, but Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, we'll take it. Sounds fun. This is going to be set in like the 1930s or 1940s or something like that. It's going to be very, weird. It's going to be a weird, different comic book movie in the MCU. I'm intrigued. Will it be great? I don't know. We haven't really seen anything from this. The director is not somebody that has like a great track record of making big, amazing blockbusters like this. We'll see. I hope it's good. This is probably MCU's biggest, their hope is that this movie is the biggest thing of the year. That is what they're betting on. They're putting a lot of stock in this movie being a hit. If this movie bombs, the MCU is going to be in a very bad place. If Fantastic Four cannot get over the hump and make a profit, that essentially puts Marvel in a position where they only have 3 profitable IPs at this point, which is Spider-Man that they don't even own. Sony owns it. Avengers and Deadpool. So that's all you'll be getting. You'll be getting Deadpool, Avengers, and Spider-Man every year. They need this to succeed. They need this movie to do well, and I hope it does. And number 3 is the Spider-Man Noir TV show. So not MCU, not DCU. It's the Sony... Amazon. I don't know. The Amazon-Sony combination to make this Nick Cage Spider-Verse spin-off with him playing a live-action Spider-Man Noir where he's gonna fight CGI monsters and it's gonna be black and white and creepy. And listen, you had me at Nick Cage playing a live-action Spider-Man. I'm sold. I don't know who else is involved in this show. I don't know anything about it. Yet again, Nick Cage, Spider-Man. I'm sold! How are more people not talking about this? I mean, if Nick Cage was playing Superman like he was supposed to, it would be the biggest story of the year. Nick Cage is playing a live-action Spider-Man this year. I mean, come on! It's gonna be amazing. This is gonna be the biggest hit of the year, in my opinion. I can't wait. It's gonna be a masterpiece. It might suck, but it'll still be masterful. It'll be meme material. We'll get meme stuff out of it. If you thought Longlegs gave you some memes with Nick Cage, wait till this dude is playing Spider-Man. I can't wait for this. Let's move on. And number 2 is Daredevil Born Again, aka Daredevil Season 4. My God, have we waited way too long for this? Why would Netflix have canceled this damn show? Why would Disney have ever thought it was a good idea to reboot this thing? My God, thank God they changed their minds on that. Daredevil Born Again is going to be a continuation of Season 3 of Daredevil, which was an amazing season of television. We have Matt Murdock back, the same Charlie Cox playing him. We have the same Kingpin who's now running for mayor. I believe he is mayor, and they are at odds. You have Bullseye who's going to be back. You have this terrifying new villain named Muse who looks like the greatest Daredevil villain ever. He's like a creepy serial killer dude. You have John Bernthal back as the Punisher. Who would have ever thought, let's get rid of John Bernthal as the Punisher? He is the Punisher. I mean, who's not excited for this? It looks amazing. They have all the original people back that had worked on the first show, so you know you're getting a fateful follow-up season. This is not going to be Disney-fied. Hopefully. We'll have to wait and see. You know there's going to be at least one Disney moment in this show, but please, hopefully not. This has potential to be one of the best shows of the year. And after last year, we got The Penguin Show, which was a show that was very much in the same tone and vibe of those Netflix Marvel shows. I think there's a real hunger for more stuff like that, more of these dark, ground-level superhero stuff that take place in a larger world, right? So I just think this would be so cool. I hope they don't try to throw all these MCU-y things in there and all these weird... just let Daredevil be a badass, give him a dark plot, some bad dudes to beat up, I guess. Let Kingpin be cool. Let everybody just be awesome. Let John Bernthal kill people as the Punisher. That's all we want to see him do. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. Let's go to number 1. You already know what it is. It's obviously Superman. I mean, how can Superman... I mean, you can't make a video talking about the most exciting comic book movies coming out in the year and not rank Superman number 1. Unless there was, a Batman movie coming out, or a Spider-Man movie, but a James Gunn Superman movie. It's the first Superman we've gotten since 2013's Man of Steel. It's been quite a long time, 12 years. Wow. A brand new reboot starring David Corenswet, and no matter what you think of how we've gotten to this point, with Snyder kind of being axed, with Henry Cavill being axed, with all the nonsense and drama, no matter what you think of all that, because believe it or not, I have my opinions on it too, to get to this point with a brand new rebooted Superman that looks really cool and interesting based on the trailer, how can you not be excited? Now, this has potential to be a stinker. You know, James Gunn's not a perfect filmmaker. He hasn't missed yet. Like, I wouldn't say he's ever made a bad movie. Even his bad, you know, his worst movies that rank near the bottom are still pretty good. And even his worst comic book movies, like Guardians Volume 2 or The Suicide Squad, still have their highlight moments. They're still solid films. So Superman, I feel like at the worst, is just going to be a solid movie that maybe does some stuff that pisses people off. At its best, this could be the new dawn of a brand new superhero empire, aka DC. Maybe DC could be what this genre's missing right now, which is something new, a new flavor, something to reinvigorate audiences because they feel like they've been alienated by the MCU with all the shitty stuff they've been putting out. Maybe this is the start of something new. Or maybe it's not. We'll see. But I really dug the trailer. I really dig Nick Holt playing Lex Luthor, and I'm excited for this. Which ones are you guys most excited for? Let me know down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe more, turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.